We decided that we wanted to go down to the protest, and you know, we wanted to be there. You know, we wanted to raise our voices about it. It was like a really important thing for both of us. You know, so the day started. We were actually going in Hyde Park. So we were in Hyde Park first, and it was crazy. Like, we didn't even think at the time there was all these right-wing radical people in the park screaming, cursing. There were like kids and families there, you know, it was totally disrespectful. And obviously, me and Sean being white, we didn't want to associate with that, and we didn't want the confrontation of people coming up to us and approaching us as well. So that was a very scary situation to start off with anyway. But thankfully on Twitter, I managed to find out that the protest had been moved and it was going to Trafalgar Square.
Some far-right post, fam. Yeah?
You still got time to come and represent! Represent!
Yeah, blood, there's bare people saying they're coming still.
Yeah, come, we're here. We're here to talk.
Bring your family, bring everyone.
We're not destroying. We want them to hear our voice.
And at 5, whenever we leave as one as well.
Yes, that's right.
Whenever. One order,
we are not
discipline. Don't get it twisted, we got the win today, you know, because them men are already getting arrested, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you get arrested, you're going straight to jail.
We turned up to the protest and it was beautiful. Everyone was so welcoming to both of us, like calling us brother and sister and telling us their stories, and such remarkable, amazing stories. So it started off that we'd turned up and the riot police were great. You know, they were smiling, they were chatty, you know, we even had a cigarette outside the protest, you know, which could have caused conflict, but at the time, there was only one line of riot police. So it was okay, you know, it was still early doors. It was probably about half past, 1:15. So it wasn't even that far into it all, if that makes sense. And then I just remember we were all singing and chanting, you know, we were all hearing one another's stories.
Let me tell you something, from we wear a scar right here, so, in my face.
Yes.
Yeah, I was 18 years old. When about 20 white boys, skinheads, rush eyes. But me's a warrior, me's a general.
Oh!
Yeah?
I must speak up.
Me never drop on the floor.
Good.
Me fight and me fight. And me fight and me fight.
And then the police line started, considering there was only, I'd say maybe about 10 of them at the time when we first arrived.
15.
Yeah, there was only a small amount looking after the protest, and there was only one line that you had to go through. And next thing you know, the police start getting on edge, and you start hearing all of these radical right-wing guys just screaming the most nastiest stuff, you know, the nastiest stuff.
Well, first we started hearing like them chanting England and started singing.
Yeah.
And then that perked everyone up. They was like, right, what's going on? The police started running around, started like prepping. But even though they had like a little bit of time to prep and sort of do anything, the sheer numbers of the EDL or whatever they want to be called now,
it was
just so
huge.
overwhelming.
Within minutes, a glass bottle had been thrown at us, like where we were standing, and it started getting tense. And next thing you know, they just ran at us. They started punching, kicking. They were the first people to start laying hands on us. There was 100 of us, no more, 100 of us. The numbers grew. They were coming from everywhere. We had heard that one of the lines which were protecting us further back had broken, and that they were all coming towards us. Next thing you know, bottles, like glass bottles, fireworks, smoke grenades, thrown at us. At one point, me and Sean were looking around us, and the whole of Trafalgar Square, you could just see white faces.
at him. He's calling us monkeys right there. He's calling us a monkey.
We were called fascists, we were called traitors, we were called white scum, we were told that we were terrorists. Like, they had baseball bats, they had weapons, they were evil. And what was even worse is you saved my life, like in a way that I could not believe. Where they were throwing the glass bottles, it was turning slippery, and it's fearful, and everyone's running, and there's right-wing radicalists next to you, there's veterans from the war memorial who are trying to just break up the fight. You didn't know who was on your side. There was like a 5-firework grenade thrown at us, literally thrown at us, and the sparklers hit my legs. I remember you pulling me away from that moment. I mean, when that firework grenade dropped, I remember at the time thinking to myself, like, it dropped maybe
5-6 meters away.
5-6 meters away from us. If it wasn't for Sean, like, honestly, I would have come out a lot more injured than I actually did.
Yeah, I just pulled you right away and just shielded you.
Yeah.
Because so I used to be in the army. I've been out for about a year and a half-ish now.
Yeah.
And that felt like war, you know. Like, I've not been on tour and I've not been to war, but I've done, you know, all the training up to it, and I've been in the army and I've felt it. And it just brought back so many, like, the exact same feelings. And I was like, what? This is ridiculous. Just for what? For change? For equality?
What's upsetting is I'm starting to understand how you are all feeling. In the aspect that the media lies, the government doesn't care, the police are brutal, everyone judges, everyone's got an opinion. And the difference is, without black culture, without that, the UK would not be where it is today. We listen to it in music, we have it in food, everyone goes to carnival. Like, 3 million people attend carnival, and you're telling me that only 100 protesters turned up for Black Lives Matter. Who's taking advantage there? Because to me, it seems that everyone wants to endure black culture, but when it comes down to it, actually, people don't really want to get involved. For me, I'm starting to understand it. It's what the media wants, what the government wants to portray, and the fact is, that was a riot. That was 100% a riot. But you know what? I'd do it all over again. I'd do it all over again. I would 100% do it again to stand up for change. And even if it meant glass bottles being thrown at me, fireworks being thrown at me, I would rather be on the side for unity and change than be on the side for hatred